Hey guys, so not a lot to recap today in my ES trading for Thursday, June the 2nd. As you can see, only a couple trades and a small loss on the day. And not really surprised that things were somewhat limited. It's the day before the non-farm employment event, non-farm payroll, and things tend to be a little bit more limited. A lot of traders kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting for that news event to come out, the numbers to come out before they participate again. So sometimes the day before doesn't have quite as much on offer, but was being fairly careful and selective, and just didn't have anything that really played out all that well on the day. And like I said, I took a loss, and I know that's unusual in the sense that you rarely ever hear anybody admit that they lose online, it seems. But I did, and it does happen sometimes. Not that often because I've been trading for a very long time. As you saw, for Monday, made some good points. Tuesday, made some good points and up over 10 points for the week already, but lost a quarter of a point here. So it was a small loss, but still lost nonetheless. And sometimes that happens because, as I have talked about before, you don't really have enough trades in a single day unless things are really active to guarantee that your edge has a chance to play out. So you do have to think in terms of a week and bigger sample size of trades. Let that edge actually deliver profit to you. And sometimes if you don't have many trades, you might only find one or two. And sometimes if the odds are just not in your favor that particular day, you're not going to pull a profit out. But there's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean you necessarily did anything wrong or anything like that. So we started off with a little bit of chop as we were getting going here. We had a little move up here that we were kind of looking at, and I was possibly thinking of if it just kind of held in here a little bit that we might continue to push and not get the little false move there. But it came down pretty fast, so it wasn't really that much that was all that appealing for the upside. And then we shot down here really, really strongly, and ideally able to get a pullback anywhere near the breakout points. We've got a place that we can trade where we know that sellers are fairly likely to come back into the market. But didn't really happen that way. And so I entered a pretty aggressive trade because of how aggressively the market was moving, and had in mind basically targeting down into a zone that was 5 points away, kind of looking for 3 to 5 points on this. And so I don't mind keeping my risk a little bit more wide open when I get these sort of high momentum moves, these potential trending moves. I have no problem keeping that risk open rather than bringing those stops in, because I know that a lot of times price might need to come back a little bit deeper to find more sellers, find more buyers to get that continuation move. And I also know that the higher average win of these types of scenarios is going to more than pay off the a higher average loss, the larger average loss you might have by not bringing your stop in as much. But anyways, in this particular case, it came back and it did take me out. And again, no real harm done there. It's just something that happens sometimes, and I prefer to do it that way than to bring in stops to say break even just because I had a chance and then miss out on the really good profit potential that was there. But then here, as we pushed up back above this zone, had a fairly good opportunity, but came into some pretty deep drawdown right away, and then really struggled to follow through. I was looking for, especially with the momentum here, hoping I might be able to get a move up, but I was looking for at least a couple points on it. Wasn't able to get the fill there. Then once things came deep again here and momentum was really quite dead, I just took the profit that was available. And as I talked about in our class today, there was definitely a possibility things could hold if it came back in here again and push up, but I was all right with just taking the high percentage profit essentially. So once things start to go pretty flat, pretty sideways, I'll just take what's available from the market in most cases, unless I've got a really good trend in place. So just took it off the table there. Eventually came back into some considerable drawdown again and did move up. But even though I didn't maximize that one, I was happy getting out where I did, because I know that done over the course of 20 or 30 similar trades that's going to work out in my favor. And then we pushed up, couldn't get a fill on this one, so did try to get long using a limit order, but wasn't able to get a fill at the price that I wanted, which was a price a little bit further down, because I wanted to make sure that I had a little bit of room there to kind of maximize the reward potential, which is why I often prefer to use those limit orders. I know what my price is going to be, but couldn't get the fill there. And then we just continued to really chop, and we got some high momentum moves, but then no real follow through, and kind of momentum into chop, momentum into chop. So there just wasn't really all that much that was all that appealing in here, and I was fine with that. Hopefully things, definitely pick up a little bit as we get into the post non-farm stuff tomorrow. And so far, it's been a solid week, and like I said, already up over 10 points at this point. But hopefully, we get another solid day and can make up for this one, which was a little bit of a wash. So a couple hours of trading there, small loss on the day, and hopefully much improved for tomorrow. So thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next recap.